record now. So as I said earlier this week, what we're gonna do, basically, you guys are going to conduct a independent study, basically, in which you guys will focus on interpreting lyrics from popular songs. And by popular songs, I mean, you know, music which is famous. I mean, in general terms, it couldn't be. It doesn't necessarily need to be something which is popular right now, but anything which is basically part of pop culture, as you may call it. So I will share with you a link, guys. So as I explain this, guys, I need you to please download this file that I'm going to share with you. So I'm sharing here the link here in the chat box, and I'll do that also on the WhatsApp group. So what I'd like you guys to please do is just to download that file as I serve myself some coffee. Okay, so please download that file, since that's the very first thing we are going to do. So I'll open it here as well. Capture sheet, messages, and music. I'll open it here as well. For some reason, my computer is not going that fast. And actually, I had a dream last night, and in my dream, I was with this guy who was helping me changing some parts of my computer to make it faster. So I think that means something. And I really had this dream for sure. Just saying. Anyways, so with as you have downloaded it, let me just share my screen here as well. As you can see, this is a very simple grid. That's quite a similar thing to what we've used previously. So in this grid, we have 4 different columns, right? One that has to do with genre, another one that has to do with song, another one that has to do with artist, and the last one, which basically has to do with the statement or the actual message of that song. That is what we have here. So it is as simple as that. So what are we going to do with this, guys? So what we're gonna do with that with that grid is super simple. So you guys are going to select and research a number of songs, but what I'd like you guys is to choose at least one song that somehow stretches you into a genre that you don't typically listen to. You see, so it's like you guys are going to do this in groups as well. But I'd like you guys to think as a group about a music genre that you hardly ever listen to. You see, that's something I really would like you to do. So for example, in the grade, we are going to research 3 songs. So we can choose 2 songs that we all sort of like or that we agree upon, but also try to choose a song that, as I said, somehow takes you out of your comfort zone. That would be very, very good to do. Um, Also, one of the reasons why we are making the selection, like choosing a song that is somehow out of what you typically listen to, it's going to be interesting since it might lead you to discover issues which are somehow separated from our current context by time, culture, or distance. So it's like if we listen to this kind of genres that we don't listen to very much, we might end up like getting to know a little bit about things that we have no idea about. You see, it's like completely different topics, contexts. So that would be very good. So it is as simple as that, guys. That is what we are going to do basically. Yeah, and that's it, guys. So we're gonna take around, I don't know, around let's say 15 minutes, 20 minutes, let's say, Give me a second. So I think 20 minutes is more than enough. This is something. This is the second part of what basically you presented yesterday. So so what I'd like you to do is just to explore that. Okay, simply choose 3 songs and analyze the songs regarding these different elements, but also trying to choose, you know, a song that is somehow separated from that context. Nevertheless, one of the things that I would also suggest to do, guys, and since this is something that should have a connection with what we did yesterday, is that you are not going to choose 3 songs randomly. But the idea here is to keep on the discourse line of the topic that you presented yesterday. So for instance, if you talk about suicide yesterday, there you go. Let's continue analyzing, you know, this music in that line. So that would be basically choosing 3 songs about that topic and go deeper into it. Of course, we need the song. We need this. Oh, by the way, this is a very important point. We need the songs to be in English, since we are going to be analyzing lyrics. So that it's a very important clarification to make. We need the songs to be in English. We cannot use, for instance, songs in Spanish, because it would be hard to actually do the analysis, the analysis in you know, in line with the purpose of a class itself. So it is as simple as that, guys. 3 songs about the topic that you presented yesterday. The 3 songs must be in English, and at least one of them must be a song from a genre that no person in the group perhaps listens to regularly. So guys, have you got any question about that?
No, teacher.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna devote just 20 minutes for that. So that means that you guys are going to decide on the songs. You're gonna look for that, and then read, of course, the lyrics, have a look at the lyrics, and somehow extract the message, which is what we're gonna put here on this grid. Okay, guys, in case you have any question, I will be, of course, participating in the groups and jumping from group to group as usual. But in case you need any help, just let me know and I'll be there. Okay, guys, so 20 minutes to do this, and then we'll be back to continue. So let me just open the breakout rooms. So guys, here we go. So by now you may have progressed a little bit regarding the analysis of the initial songs as you have selected. So just to summarize once again the process we have had until this point. During the 2 previous lessons, we were exploring this topic of the statements through arts. So we were analyzing how one specific topic that you guys had selected is depicted through different kinds of art. That's essentially what we did. And yesterday we had those presentations. And as you could see, today what we did, or what we are doing, is to continue with that, let's say, conversation in which we continue analyzing that topic that you had previously selected, but now we are analyzing that topic from the perspective of music specifically. We just said that you guys had to choose 3 songs, and at least one of those songs should be a song that somehow stretches you out of what you normally listen to. That was the point. So what's going to happen now, guys? And there is several key things that I'm going to say to you. So I'm recording this, so we've got this a reference, but please listen up very carefully, because this is very, very, very important information. So now, guys, I know that some of you haven't finished with this part of analyzing these 3 songs. No big deal. That's something we're gonna continue doing. But I'll show you what's the next step, so you can see it in perspective. So I just share here another link, which is the very last material that I'm sharing with you for this activity. Okay, so this is the very last piece of this is the very last worksheet that I'm sharing with you. So I will show you right now what that material has. So this is the file that I just shared with you guys. So as you can see here, this is called Research Project Learning from Lyrics. On 2 days ago, when we started working on this, I said like we would work on a mini project. So this is exactly what I meant. So guys, what you guys are going to do after you finish analyzing those initial 3 songs, I would like you guys to choose one of the songs, okay? Only one of the songs. My suggestion would be to choose that song that perhaps you had never listened to, that you don't know anything about, even more if it's a music genre that you don't know a lot about. That would be the ideal. But if the group decides to choose another one that you guys already know or something, it's also okay, no big deal. But my suggestion would be to choose a completely different new song. That would be my suggestion. Then what we're gonna do, guys, here is basically fill in this form that has got some basic information of it. So first of all, the name of a song, of course, then the artist, the release date, the subject matter, which in this case is the actual topic of the song, so the specific topic of the song. So for instance, one of the groups had chosen the topic obsession. So here in subject matter, we will be more specific. So just to give you an example, for instance, obsession in the context of romantic relationships, for example, you see, so it's a specific subject of the song, okay? And then we're gonna describe this, guys. It says social issue, event, person being addressed, okay? So it's basically a brief description of the actual topic, which is depicted in the song. So if it's a social issue, for instance, if the song is about poverty, so the song addresses poverty from the perspective of children who live on the streets and so on and so forth. You will just describe basically what the song is about. In other words, this as if you were doing some sort of review of the song, some sort of synopsis of the song, you see, something like that. So it would be a very short paragraph in which you guys basically describe that, even if it's either about a social issue, about a specific event, as we have one group which is working on a specific event in the case of the World War II, and the people being addressed. Then you guys need to interpret the singer's or the writer's point of view, you see. So it's not just what the song is about, but somehow we need to try to find what's the point of view of the singer or yeah, the composer of the song. Because even though it might sound quite obvious, it isn't. Sometimes we can see that a song can talk about, for example, war, and it could blame war, and it could be clearly against war, or it could be a completely different thing, and it might be some sort of patriotic song which highlights the values of the nation, whatever, you see. So it's like you need to somehow put in evidence what's the point of view of the composer, okay? Then guys, we're gonna take another step, and this is very important because in this step we are going to somehow zoom out of the song and focus on the event or the issue or the person. So what you guys are going to do here is just to list a series of bullet points about that. So for example, in my initial example, it says that we said that it's a song about obsession in the context of romantic relationships. We said that song was about that. Okay, let's list some facts about related to obsession and romantic relationships. So you could read news, you can read articles, whatever, that gives you information about that issue. So for instance, just to give you a random example, let's say that during the year 2020, there was a study in England that stated that 70% of young men between 25 and 35 years old have experienced obsession in their romantic relationships. You see, just to give you an example, just to bring facts about that. In the case, for example, of a group who's working on the World War II, well, there is a huge number of facts which are relevant. So the number of people who are supposed to have died during the World War II, the countries that were involved, you see, it's just facts, key information, which is important to understand that topic. So to do this, you need to go back here when you spotted the subject matter. And what you have to do here is to think about those elements that can help you understand the problem better, not just the song, but the issue, you see, the subject matter better. And we're gonna do it in form of bullet points, okay? And then this is my favorite part, guys, which is how we're gonna conclude this. You guys are going to list 3 images that are described in the song. So that means that you guys have to completely focus on the lyrics. You have to completely focus on the lyrics and see, you know, the different verses of the lyrics of the song, and find those images. You see, it's like basically describe how the song depicts something. So let me just look for a song that perhaps we could use there. So I'm gonna just Google that, songs about war, let's say, and there is the song. I'm just going to choose any random song. There is a song. Let me just share my screen with you again. So I just Googled songs about war, and I just found this Black Sabbath War Pigs. So then we have these lyrics. Can you see the lyrics, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Look, I mean, the very first 2 lines are just incredible. They say, generals gather in their masses, just like witches at black masses. This is a very, I mean, I have never listened to this song and I didn't know about it, but this is a very interesting figure. Just look at this. It says generals, I mean, we know what generals are, gather in their masses. This word, guys, mass, is a word that has 2 completely different meanings in this context. So here, in this case, we talk about mass as group of people, right? As a big group of people, like la masa, no? Generals gather in their masses, just like witches at black masses. In this second case, mass is not masa, but misa, like the misa en la iglesia, you see? So this figure is just incredible. You see, if you are talking about war and you say this, generals gather in their masses, just like witches at black masses. This is just fantastic. So this is one figure, you see? So this is one of the examples that we could put over here. This is one image. You could just quote this line here. Generals, to copy paste that. But you need to try to visualize that image. So if we say this, guys, generals gather in their masses, just like witches at black masses, right? If we wanted to translate it just to see the image, like los generales se reúnen en las masas, tal como las brujas en las misas negras, you see? Wow. You see, so you need to see that image, at least in your head, but you need to make sure that what you put here really helps you guys in the group see that image. It's like the image is very clear. So that means that you need to check the vocabulary very well. You see, let's say another, for example, now in darkness, world stops turning, ashes where their bodies burning, you see? So just you analyze this, that perhaps you say, well, I'm not sure what ashes mean. So then you would check a dictionary just to make sure that you understand what ashes are. And well, you understand everything. So you would simply copy paste here those verses, but making sure that you understand what are the images which are described, you see? Especially, and by images, it doesn't mean necessarily like an actual image, but it could be concepts, you know, which are clearly explained. But this this part is going to be essential for the final part of the exercise, which is something that I'll let you know in a moment. So guys, my question is, do you understand what I've just explained, how to work on this format?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, guys. So with this format is going to be your main input for the actual piece of the project. And this is when important news come in our way. So guys, as you know, actually this second term finishes officially tomorrow. So tomorrow is the very last day of classes in the second term, let's say. Next week, we'll start with the exams, okay? So listen up, guys, listen up. On Monday, you are going to present this project, which is going to be literally the last grade of our term, but it's not just like that. We are going to have a presentation in the format of the presentation we had yesterday, okay? We are going to have that kind of presentation. So we need to start on Monday. We need to start at 7 sharp. And I will, not 7:05, but 7 sharp. And I will call groups randomly, okay? That's the first thing. But what kind of presentation is going to be? And how are we going to grade it? Well, I'm going to answer the second question. How are we going to grade this? Well, guys, let me tell you that this is going to be the speaking section of the exam. Okay, so this is going to be the speaking section of the test, just to show you the importance of this. But what are you guys going to present? Well, this is the most important part. And how is going to be your presentation actually? So guys, once you finish with this format, as I said earlier this week, what we are going to do is to depict this into a form of visual art. Okay, we are going to put all of this together and express it into the form of visual art, which means that you can do any sort of visual art. It could be, for example, a photography collage that you guys create. It could be a painting that you guys do. It could be anything which is visual. So you can do it, for instance, you could paint something with your bare hands. You could create a visual representation digitally, you know, using Photoshop or something like that, or using any sort of suite for graphics, for graphic design, or you could do a collage with pictures. It's your decision. It has to be something graphic. You see, something graphical, something we can see. So on Monday, that's what you're going to present. There is no PowerPoint, there is no slides. It's just that piece of art, let's say that piece of visual art. And that piece of visual art basically depicts your own analysis of the topic that you had selected. But you guys, for that, will use these images from that song as a source of inspiration. You see, so those images are what are going to inspire you to create that piece. So that's why we need to do this whole format, because this whole format is going to help us first understand the song that you guys will choose, and second, understand the problem a little bit better, right? The problem that you guys selected and that you guys presented yesterday. And these figures at the end, these images are going to give you this inspiration for creating the piece of art. So at the end of the day, if we sort of summarize what we're gonna do here, let's say the topic that I had chosen was war, right? War, that's my topic. So we could say that my project, I mean, this piece of art that I will present, it's basically war. Like I can give it any name, but I need to be specific that it's war and that I have chosen this song. Okay, so those are the two, let's say, foundations of that piece of art. So it's like in the presentation, you will start by saying, okay, the topic that we, for example, my group and I had selected the topic of war. We conducted all this research on this topic. You can share some of the, I mean, you are free to create your presentation, the actual organization. You know that the only thing that you need to do for sure is to present this piece of art. So you could say, we selected the topic of war because of this and that reason. Then we explore different forms of art in the presentation we had on Thursday. And then finally on Friday, we selected a song by Black Sabbath, which is called War Pigs. So the figures, I'm sorry, the images, I'm sorry, we had selected a number of images that inspired our piece of art. So this is our piece of art. And then you present it. But you have to make sure that every single person in the group presents. And apart from that, you need, guys, as this is going to be your speaking test, you need to first project, open your camera. So you need to use your cameras in the presentation because this is the exam. And I suggest you guys have, bullet points and some sort of help there, but don't read, because if you read, you are reading in the exam, and you know that that's super easy to tell. And if you do it, it's your problem, but that's going to affect your grade. So it's like you need to prepare the whole presentation, and I will confirm in a moment exactly how much time each group is going to have. But I'm going to make sure that each one of the groups have a good amount of time. Actually, let me just double check. I know that we have 10 groups, if I'm not wrong. 1, 2, give me a sec. We are missing 1 and 2 groups here. We've got from 9 to 10 groups normally. I think it's normally 10 groups. So actually every group should have at least 10 minutes. Could have at least around 10 minutes. So you guys decide completely the organization of the presentation. So if you want to start talking about, for example, the bullet points, that's absolutely okay. If you want to start talking about the song specifically, that's okay. You decide the organization of your presentation. But the point here is, guys, remember, the speaking test of this term is going to be an oral presentation on a piece of art that you guys are going to create based on the analysis of this song. Okay, that's how we could summarize it. You would have the presentations on Monday, and then when we finish, you guys are going to upload all this material, basically this format, the one that you just finished, the 2 formats we have worked on today, and the piece of art. That means 3 pages. That's what you guys are going to upload to Moodle on Monday. So guys, please let me know what are your questions, because I think you may have some. Have you got any questions, guys?
The 3 formats are, well, first, this one that you said, the last one, the one that we were working before, and the third.
No, it's 2 formats and the piece of art, the visual representation.
Oh, okay.
You see, let's call it your creation. Let's call it like that to make it more emphatic. Okay, so that means that you would upload these 2 formats and this creation that could be, like a PDF, or I don't know. It depends on how you do that. Okay, it could be something 100% digital. You could do it with your bare hands and scan it or make a picture of it. It's your decision. But remember, no PowerPoint presentations. We don't need slides. Your presentation is going to have only 1 slide, which is your creation. That is it. Okay. Once again, it's your speaking test. So that means that every single member in the group has to talk. Okay. That's one thing. Another thing, all of you have to turn on your cameras because this is the exam. Okay, guys, that's very important. There might be some follow-up questions, just like in the exam. So you need to be ready to answer the questions, because if, for example, there is a group of 3 people and 2 people have made a very good presentation, but one of them perhaps didn't participate that much, chances are that I will make follow-up questions to that person. So you need guys to be ready for that as well. Okay.
Yes, teacher, I have another question.
Yep.
In the last part of the chart that you show us, it says that we have to put 3 images about the song and the topic that we choose. Between those images, it will have the piece of art that we create, or is a part?
That's a very good question, Lina. That's a very good question, Lina. Thank you. Remember, when they say list 3 images, it doesn't mean it means that you need to describe them with lyrics. It's like, as I said earlier, you could copy paste the verses from the song. You are 100% free. So you could, for example, present those 3 images in your piece of art, or just 2, or just 1. Is your decision. it's your decision, because at the end of the day, it's an artistic creation, and you need to have that freedom to actually make a statement yourselves. You see, that's very important, because I mean, that's why we did the exercise yesterday, just to see how through different kinds of art, artists make a statement. So you guys are going to make a statement yourselves. So it's like, for example, you select these 3 images and you say, you know what, this image, the second image, it's the one that describes the best the problem, because look, we have done all of this. You see, we have all put all this information together, and then we say, wow, the second image is just perfect. Let's do something about it. Let's do some sort of collage with photographies. We can make some photographies ourselves and put them together there. You see, you are 100% free to do it however you want. We don't need to see the 3 images necessarily, but we do need to see how those images inspire your work. You see, so when we see your piece of art, and as you guys have, you will talk about this, we need to see that. You see how those images have inspired your work. But if you choose 1, 2, or 3, that is your decision. Okay.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
There you go. Please, guys, more questions. This is not a big deal. This is not something super complex, but this is something that really requires your attention and your effort to have a very good work. So if you have questions, please let me know, because this is the moment we have for that. Okay, as I assume you guys have no questions. Once again, let me just summarize. This is going to be for Monday. On Monday, you need to have the 2 formats that we presented today, which is this and the one that I shared with you previously with the 3 songs. That's it. And what you guys are going to present on Monday, apart from this, is your creation, which is a visual representation of the topic and the images that you guys extracted from the song. You see? So once again, if we choose any of the topics you guys worked on yesterday, so we had this project on let me remember, we got this project on LGBTI community, right? That was the topic in general. So you chose, I mean, we had actually 3 projects. So this is the topic, you selected 1 song, you found a specific subject matter. So for instance, the specific subject matter of this song is how people in the LGBTI community deals with social pressure from their families. Just to give you an example, the pressure of families, just to give you an example. You do all of this, then you list the 3 images here, how the song literally describes that, but also including all this, for instance, facts, which is something you can extract from other sources. As we said, it could be from the news, articles, books, anything else, because this is facts. This is something which is not in the song. This is completely out of the song. So you need to enrich the discussion with that. And then based on these images, you are going to create a visual representation, a visual art, let's say some sort of piece of art, of graphic piece of art. So it could be a painting, a drawing, a photography collection, a photography collage, a photography. It could be just 1 photography, you see, and that's it. And then on Monday, you are going to make a presentation. Remember that each one of the groups is going to have maximum 10 minutes. So you are going to simply bring your piece of art and tell us all of this. You see, it's your decision how you organize the presentation. But as it is your speaking test, of course, you need to make sure that everyone in the group presents. And by presenting, we mean presenting. It's not reading, because if you simply read, you know, I mean, you know how that goes. You see, guys? So that's what we've got on Monday. Then on Tuesday, we're going to have the other section of the test, of course, the other sections of the test as usual. Then on Wednesday, I'll be grading everything up and uploading the grades. The deadline for making corrections is Saturday next week, but I will upload grades on Wednesday, 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 yes. Max tops Thursday morning. On Wednesday, guys, on Wednesday, we will not see each other, okay? Because first of all, I need to work on the grading thing. And apart from that, I've got a flight exactly at that time, like at 6:30 in the morning. That was good. That's gonna be crazy. So at 6:30 in the morning, I will have this flight. So that means that I will materially not be able to be in the class. I'm sorry for that. But at the same time, as we have concluded all the activities, Wednesday for me will be for that, just to finish the grading and upload grades. And then I'll see you again on Thursday. Okay, so Monday, presentation of the piece of art of your creations on this topic. Tuesday, the test, the other sections of the test. Wednesday is for grading. We will not see each other. And Thursday, we will see each other again. By Thursday, hopefully you will have your grades. So you will have, my plan is to give you Thursday and Friday to make any comments about the grades so I can correct them by Friday. Okay, guys, is there any question about that? Okay, guys, so if that's okay with you, if you don't have questions, I will give you the rest of the session to work on this project, okay? To continue working on this project. If you happen to have any question today, you can just WhatsApp me and I will answer through the day today. I've got no problem with that. You can WhatsApp me today and I can answer any question through the day. I'm sorry that in some cases, guys, if I don't answer one of your messages, is because, you know, after 9, I just get lost and I've got so much things to do, and sometimes it gets a little bit hard. But today, my day seems to be a little bit easier. So during the afternoon, I would be able to answer messages in case that's needed. But once again, as I'm asking here, I think you guys have no questions, and I will share this recording, of course, so you can check this recording and listen to the explanation once again. So guys, I'm 100% sure you're gonna do some fantastic work on Monday, because yesterday with this preliminary analysis, you guys brought some really cool stuff. So I'm sure that on Monday, we're gonna have something really nice. Once again, it's not about doing lots of things, because that's, I mean, I could have assigned you I don't know, an essay or something, but that's not what we are doing. The point here is not to do a lot of things, but to dig very, very deep into what we are doing. As I said, this creation that you guys are going to make, it's not about doing something super crazy. No, it's about doing something that really means something to you. As I said, it could be a simple drawing. It could be just one photography, but it has to have that meaning. Yeah, that's as you can see, these formats are very simple, but the point here is not to write a lot of things, but to dig very, very, very deep and focus on your own oral capacity to express that. You see, I want you to focus on that, on how you on Monday are going to express what you have processed with this exercise. That's the point, to have this conversation on Monday, which on one hand, it's going to be challenging, I know, but at the same time, I think, at least in my case, it's something that I enjoy a lot, listening to you and learning from the things that you put together. Okay?
Teacher, that is going to be a presentation for all the class or group by group?
Yes, no, in all the, just like yesterday, you're gonna, that's why I said it's going to be just like we did it yesterday. So that means that I will call each one of the groups. So you guys are going to present your piece of art to the whole class. And so, and that's even more interesting because it's an actual presentation. You say it's not, I mean, it's also the test, I know, but it's a full presentation with full audience. And I also, guys, would like to ask you to please take it super seriously. And that means not, I mean, apart from doing a good job, apart from doing a great job, actually, it's also about listening to your classmates and respecting their time and you know, like really taking the exercise very seriously, because I believe this is a very interesting opportunity. Diana asks us, creation can be whatever, like a collage or something like that. It's literally any kind of visual representation. Visual representation is something we can see. So that ranges from photography. I mean, just Google visual arts. Remember, what's considered visual arts? It could be, you know, like a photography or collage, a painting, a drawing, a short video. You see, anything which is visual, that's it. Okay, anything which is visual. The point here is to see how that creation represents your own reflection about the topic that you selected and how the images that you are extracting from this song are reflected there. That is it. Okay. There you go. So guys, before you guys continue working on that, as we are going to close this session here, so you can continue working on your own, I'm gonna call the attendance right now. So Gerson Abril is here.
I'm here, teacher.
Tatiana Alvarez,
Present, teacher.
Laura Arias. Laura Arias not here. Laura Bermudez.
Present, teacher, I'm here.
Okay, Ana María Buendía.
Present, teacher.
Andrés Felipe Bueno.
Yes, I'm here.
Camila Ulla.
I'm here, teacher.
Erika Corredor.
I'm here.
Michael Cortés.
I'm here, teacher.
Valentina Spitio. Tatiana Spitio.
Present, teacher.
Valeria Fonnegra.
Here, teacher.
Miguel Ángel Forero.
I'm here.
Sebastián González.
Here, teacher.
Melissa Goyes.
Present.
Ashley Huesa.
Here, teacher.
Diego Llano.
Present.
Daniel Machuca.
Hi there.
Hello, Mr. Johannes Martinez. Johannes. not here.
Present.
Oh, okay. Nicolás Medina.
I'm here, teacher.
Clara Monroy.
Present, teacher.
Alexander Mutis.
I'm here, teacher.
Camila Navarro.
I'm here, teacher.
Magdalena Ojeda.
Me, teacher.
Dylan Páez.
Present, teacher.
Diana Palacios.
Here, teacher.
Lina Fernanda Rodríguez.
Present, teacher.
Natalia Rodríguez.
Here, teacher.
David Torres.
Here, teacher.
María Alejandra Triana. María Alejandra Triana. Not here. Lorena Valero.
I'm here.
Sofía Valles.
Good morning.
Hello. Okay, guys. So, guys,
Teacher, You
Yeah,
didn't
yes.
call me.
I'm 100% sure I called you, but let me just see again. Yeah, I called you and I saw you were here, so no worries about that.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So that's it for the next week. So let's say we are next week we're gonna be closing the second term, and then we would start with a very final term in which, I mean, the other week when we close the exams and everything, we would go back to the projects we have been working on and see exactly how that's going to finish, because that's going to be, I mean, this test that we are having next week is going to give you a little bit of a flavor of how the presentation for the project is going to work on the third term. It's going to be something very similar. So that's why this is also super important. Okay, guys, so that's it. I'll let you this remaining 30 minutes just for you guys to work on your activity, on your test for the next week. Okay. And I'll upload the recording right now.
Okay, teacher.